This mountain doesn't own a watch. It's not in a hurry to get where it's going. And yet, after millions of years, it has arrived. It's what inspired us to cold age our beer, which, thankfully, takes a little less than a million years. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
Now get data access plus unlimited talk and text to and from Mexico and the U.S. and Canada and the U.S. Included on plans starting at $45 a month after $5 autopay credit. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Alucinante. By design. Seduciendo. By design.
This game is brought to you in part by Ford, Cricket, and Coors Light.
And we are underway here at the Arnos Vale grounds in Kingston, St. Vincent. CONCACAF World Cup qualifying for Russia 2018 is on beIN Sports. It is St. Vincent and the Grenadines up against Guatemala today. St. Vincent and the Grenadines sporting the yellow tops, the blue shorts, the blue socks, going right to left on your screen. Guatemala in the all-white kits, black numerals with the light blue trim. A lot of play here as we start the action. For those of you wondering where we might be geographically, if you're not familiar with where exactly the St. Vincent and the Grenadines is located, we are in the eastern part of the Caribbean Sea. As we get early action here, this one turned over, and a chance for Guatemala to boot this one up the park as Stefano Cincota gets rid of that one. And out of play on the near side of the pitch. Well, we're just north of Grenada. We're just south of St. Lucia, and we're just west of Barbados here in the Eastern Caribbean. Located in the southern portion of the Windward Islands. We're actually on the island of St. Vincent. The city itself, where we're at, Kingstown, population of just over 40,000 people. The entire country, or the nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, about 100,000 people on your map. Officially, the local language is English, although the most popular language among the locals is Vincentian Creole. That is the common tongue. English taught mostly in schools and used to announce and make public announcements. And of course, you heard the announcer over the PA speaking in English today. Here's a look at that last play. Ruiz, or rather not Ruiz, Minor Lopez trying to get on the ball there. Minor Lopez, by the way, joining Pescadito Ruiz up front in the attack today. Ruiz was the only striker up against Trinidad and Tobago, a match that Guatemala lost 2-1 at home. Minor Lopez playing his football in the second division of Portugal for Atlético CP. 6 goals for the national team. This is 44th cap for the side as this ball is turned over on the near side of the pitch, and it will stay with Guatemala. They call Kingstown the City of Arches. It is the capital, the chief port, and the main commercial center for the country. This venue used for multiple purposes, not just for soccer and for cricket. It does go by the name of the playing field, so if you hear me refer to that, that's the reason why. St. Vincent and the Grenadines gained independence from the United Kingdom back in October of 1979. A chance here as the goalkeeper, Winslow McDowell, comes out to make a play. Player down in the box for Guatemala. As Ruiz fights to get back on the ball. He's the guy you want to keep your eye on today. Going forward is down in the box is Stefano Cincota. Cincota, 24 years of age. And one of only 2 players on this Guatemala side to ply their trade in the Eastern Hemisphere. Of course, we already mentioned Minor Lopez, who plays in Portugal in the 2nd division. Cincota plays for Chemnitzer FC, which is a German 3rd division side. And so a restart coming here. 66% humidity on the day. It seemed to be a rather mild day. It's a little hot out there, but in the South Caribbean, that's about what you'd expect. You can already see Pescadito Ruiz. He came prepared. Lots of sunscreen on the face of the Guatemalan players. Lighting can become an issue here at the Arnos-Vale ground, and so this match played during the day. I'm sure the conditions are meant to favor St. Vincent as well. Well, both these sides did manage to get a goal in their last time out. Of course, Guatemala falling 2-1, but their goal coming right at the end, just as the match was pretty much out of reach already. That lone goal coming off the boot of Carlos Mejia in minute 90. Of course, prior to that, Trinidad and Tobago had put 2 across the goal line. Kaleem Highland scoring for TNT in the 67th minute before Kenwin Jones latched onto a cross for a beautiful goal on the volley. Here's a look at that last play. Minor Lopez getting some resistance there in the midfield. He runs into the elbow of Nazir McBurnett. There are 3 players on this St. Vincent and the Grenadines squad who do play in Europe. A chance here as Pescadito Ruiz has the ball all by himself inside the 18-yard box, and a good save there by McDowell in net. Defense, one of the main concerns, of course, for St. Vincent, as opposed to Guatemala, who scored their goal late when the match was already out of reach. St. Vincent and the Grenadines got on the board in just 5 minutes against the United States just a few days ago. Well, Alex Anderson sneaking past the USA defense. And the Vincent Heat, as they're known, had a 1-0 lead on the United States. Didn't last very long, though. 6 minutes later, Bobby Wood would open the scoring for the United States. And it was just an avalanche of goals from the Stars and Stripes after that. Fabian Johnson chiming in minute 29. 2 minutes later, Josie Altidore got the first of 2 goals on the day for him. Giassi Zardes and Geoff Cramer also adding goals in that result. 6-1 the final score, and of course the goal differential enough to put St. Vincent and the Grenadines down at the bottom of Group C. Looked like a handball, no call though. And the foul, oh, no foul actually. So I'm sure McDowell throws the ball back into play. Coming forward, Guatemala. Jose Contreras trying to spring Pescadito Ruiz there on the play. Foul though. That's going to bring play to a dead stop here. Here's another look at the play. Let's see, player going down, trying to set Ruiz free. This one fired on net just wide of the post though. Guatemala players claiming a corner kick. Dennis Lopez getting the header to that one. Contreras gets a touch to it. Mejia, I should say Minor Lopez, gets it back to Sincota. Looks like much of the same formation that Guatemala was using against Trinidad and Tobago, this strange 3-5-1-1 formation. Although the lineups given to us at the beginning of the match looked like it was more of a 4-4-2 look. Still, Sincota on the ball. Right wing player dropping this one back. Freddie Thompson having a go for Guatemala. His shot is blocked. And this one's out of play as Jose Contreras tries to get the ball back for Los Chapines. Here's another look at that last play in which Ruiz found himself all alone in front of the goal. Just a breakdown defensively. Not even sure you can call that ball watching. Easily the match's first shot on goal. Of course, both these sides had to go through a few hurdles before getting to this point in qualification. Guatemala had to go through Bermuda. Home and away with them. Ended up coming away winners on a 1-0 aggregate. They also had to play Antigua and Barbuda home and away, and they came away winners 2-1 on aggregate in that series. As this one sent into the box, into the mixer, down to make the play is Winslow McDowell. St. Vincent will get this ball away, and a chance for a breakaway here. Players streaming forward now for the Island Nation. McBurnett looking across the box, feeds it over. Slater trying to get free. Ball still loose inside the box, and it's turned over by Guatemala. First real scoring chance for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but nothing comes of it. And that is the worry with this formation for Guatemala. There's only 3 players back. And so if there's a breakaway, it's going to be hard to get men back there to defend. And Tevin Slater just couldn't get the shot off, but had a very, very good chance at scoring there as this one gets away. Paulo Moto, by the way, in net for Guatemala. Here's a look at that last cross to McDowell. Drop back now for Contreras. Ruiz. And the ball will stay with Guatemala on the near side of the pitch. Contreras. Shot from distance. Doesn't even get inside the 18-yard box. Lots of space here on the sidelines. In virtue of this being a cricket ground, it's also hard to get a good zoom in on the far side of the pitch. Another player down here for Guatemala. Looks like Freddie Thompson, the man on the ground. Freddie Thompson, 33 years of age, plays his... No, it's not Freddie Thompson. It's actually Dennis Lopez. It's down. Lopez plays for Municipal, making his 12th cap for the national team. 29 years of age. Looks like he's fine. He'll shake it off, and we're back underway here at the playing fields. Mentioned the path of Guatemala to get here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They had to go at it against Guyana, and that was one heck of a series. Home and away. Final score on aggregate Came down to 6-6, but because St. Vincent scored 4 goals in Guyana, they advanced. After that, it was a home and away against Aruba. 3-2 aggregate scoreline got St. Vincent and the Grenadines here. This one is called offside against the captain Ruiz. And so Winslow McDowell getting a bit out of sorts. He goes to ground here, and he'll have the trainer come out and take a look at him. So in terms of the FIFA rankings, these two sides not really on the international radar. Guatemala coming in today, 91st in the FIFA rankings. They got as high as 50th back in August of 2006, at their lowest back in November of 1995 when they were 163rd in the world. St. Vincent and the Grenadines comes in to this round of qualification. As you get a look here at the offsides called against Carlos Ruiz, they come in 129th in the world, and the pick by many to finish at the bottom of this group. Of course, the United States heavily favored to come away winners of Group C and advance to the final hexagonal. The top 2 teams in this group advance to that hexagonal. Of course, USA, the main favorite to move on. TNT considered the favorite among the 3 other sides to make it. At their highest, St. Vincent was 73rd in the world back in October of 2007. 170th at their lowest back in 2004. Coming forward, Contreras has the ball taken away from him by McBurnett. McBurnett fighting for space on the right-hand side here. Thought about sending it forward, pulls it back for just a second. That is the one advantage to this formation for Guatemala. There's a whole lot of traffic in the midfield. They do have only the 3 players back, but in that center of the park, there's 5 players. Really makes it difficult to get through. And sometimes there's 6. It really is an odd formation that Ivan Sopeño brings out. Well, this is the final day of our international break here on beIN Sports. It's CONCACAF action from match day 2 of round 4 throughout the channel. But next weekend, the greatest players on earth, the biggest battle in sports. Real Madrid look to close the gap on table-topping Barcelona in the first Clásico of the season. Grab a ringside seat Saturday, November 21st, right here on beIN Sports. Clásico, Real Madrid and Barcelona next weekend. Log on to beinsports.com and get all the information you'll need on the pregame shows, the postgame show. Of course, many of our regular shows throughout the week will be focused primarily on the Clásico this week. It is by far the biggest match in all of Spain, and most of Europe, really, among the bigger rivalries in world football. Still scoreless here at the Arnos Vale ground, the playing fields here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Both these squads looking for their first points in round 4. Of course, the USA and Trinidad and Tobago playing not too far away. It's a few miles south of here. Of course, Trinidad and Tobago located just off the northern coast of Venezuela, the southernmost country in the Caribbean. I shouldn't say the southernmost of the countries remaining in the CONCACAF qualifiers. And this one gets away, put right into the hands of Winslow McDowell. He'll get this one back into play. Winslow McDowell, by the way, 28 years of age, plays for Avenues United in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good amount of this squad does play locally, but we mentioned there are 3 players that do play across the Atlantic Ocean. Reginald Richardson, as well as Hakeem Williams, both play in Finland. And Gavin James, who's starting up top today next to Slater, number 13. He plays for Maidenhead United FC in England. One of the lower divisions of the English game, but still across the Atlantic. Right now, Guatemala bearing down on St. Vincent, trying to get a cross away there, but a good job in defense, deflection. Not a lot of room to work with in the midfield, though. Forward, Minor Lopez. This ball sent out wide by Contreras. Crossed in the face of goal, Ruiz had a chance to put this one into an open net at the back post. Misses wide. And after 20 minutes of play here, still scoreless at the playing fields. Ruiz with his second clear chance to score. Unsuccessful. All the way to the end line. Ruiz with nobody in front of him. I'm not even sure if Winslow McDowell had turned his head yet. Poor marking. Turned over. Ruiz sends it across. Trying to poke it forward and get Minor Lopez back on the ball, but no luck. St. Vincent a chance to go in the opposite direction. Hamlet trying to figure out what to do with it. Sends it across the formation with Burnett. Trying to get back to the ball. Brought down. Dowell gets it forward. Gavin James. It's put out of play. He'll stay with the home side. As you can see, Cornelius Huggins, better known as Outlaw during his playing days, getting into it, trying to send a message to his team out on the field as he wants the defenders to come forward. Gotta be careful, though. Still battling on the ball. Turned over finally. Carlos Mejia playing a key part in the dispossession. And out of play, as you get a look here at Ivan Sopeño, 52 years of age, born in Rosario, Argentina. Was a goalkeeper in his playing days. Foul here. And that'll go to Guatemala. Sopeño played professionally from 83 to 1998. Played in Argentina, Colombia, and Peru. Started coaching the Guatemala side back in 2014 after a stint with Comunicaciones in Guatemala. Coached them for 6 years before taking the Guatemala job. It's McDowell in net. I think it's going to be a 3-man wall here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There's Drew Fisher. Match official gets everyone in position. 4th man joins the wall now for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Looks like Contreras will be the one to take it. Also close to the ball, though, is Stefano Cincota. And he takes it, smashes it to the back of the net. A brilliant goal to start out the scoring here at the Arnos Vale grounds. See if we can get another look at this one. Seeing Gota, the right winger, with a beautiful shot. Left-footed, caught the wall completely off guard. And we have our first goal of the contest. And by the way, just the second goal for Guatemala. Gota has scored, and this is 14th cap. Here it is again. Four-man wall, and it made no difference. Vidal got his hands on it, but not enough. What a strike. Stefano Gota. 24 minutes in, we have our first goal of the match. See how St. Vincent and the Grenadines responds. Now giving up 7 goals unanswered between the United States and Guatemala. Remember, they did score first against the United States. 5 minutes in, Anderson, Alex Anderson, the left winger, getting on the board for St. Vincent in that one. But since then, the defense has been rather generous, giving up 7 goals between the United States and Guatemala. And a foul here. There's Alex. Lone goal in this round so far for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That one's sent forward. Looking for McBurnett. Unable to find him though. And so Mota will put this one back into play. Mota. Another member of Municipal, one of the local teams in Guatemala. This is 16th cap for the national team. Back out to the goal scorer, Gota. Gota, by the way, will go and take what looks to be a corner kick. Crossed in by Contreras. This one finds the head of a defender. The shot on the release, and a race to the ball now. St. Vincent and the Grenadines off and running. Long ball forward. See who settles it. Alex Anderson, the Seattle Sounders 2-side player, scored against the U.S. on the ball here. He gets brought down just outside the box. That's going to set up a free kick for the home side. He is one of the more dangerous players going forward for this St. Vincent squad. "20 years of age. Making his 16th cap for the national side. See what he's going to try and do here. Two-man wall for Guatemala. Chipped over that wall, but right into the waiting hands of Paulo Mota. Just got too close to the goalkeeper that time. Here's another look at the play. Carlos Mejia doing his best to defend Anderson. Ends up fouling him on the play, but in the end, no harm done. Guatemala definitely the quote-unquote hotter of these two sides coming in, and beaten in 3 of their last 4 matches. 2-1-1 over that stretch. Of course, both these countries do play within sub-confederations in CONCACAF. Guatemala plays in UNCAF, which is the Central American Federation, or I should say sub-confederation, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, part of the CFU, the Caribbean Sub-Confederation of CONCACAF. Ball chipped in from distance, although that caught in the breeze a little bit. You can see that corner flag blowing. It is a bit gusty out here, winds gusting up to about 15 miles an hour, blowing steadily at 10. Contreras gets it forward, all sent to the wing. Brandon De Leon gets it forward. Minor Lopez taken off the ball, and this one's put out of play. Vincent Heat will keep possession, and they'll inbound here. Gota still going, brought down from behind, no call by the official though. 30 minutes gone, 15 left to play here in the first 45. Well, out on the wing, St. Vincent trying to get forward. Tevin Slater trying to get back to the ball. Will he get there? He will not. And the defender, Brandon De Leon, goes tumbling after the ball in the process. Slater, by the way, the number 12 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, just 20 years of age. Does have a lot of pace on him, though. This is 5th match for the national side. Guatemala on the ball now. De Leon trying to get into the 18-yard box. Sends a shot for the near post. Well high, up and over the goal. And we have a corner kick. Played short. Guatemala with the cross into the box, looking for Contreras. Loose ball, put into the back of the net. 2-0 to the away side, and it's Minor Lopez who puts the second across the line for La Bicolor. A lot to pick apart here on this play. Now 8 unanswered goals that St. Vincent and the Grenadines have conceded. Guatemala get 2 here. And we'll see if we can get another look at this play. By the way, Minor Lopez, that his 7th goal for the national side, and this is 44th cap. Here's another look at the play. The initial cross sent in by Freddie Thompson. Looks like Ruiz got a shot off. That was blocked by Winslow McDowell. And on the rebound, Minor Lopez puts this one home. It falls for Ruiz. Ruiz has a shot. McDowell makes the save, but no one there to clean up the rebound except Mejia, or I should say Minor Lopez. So 1 from a set piece and 1 from the run of play, although the play did start from a corner. Played out to the top of the 18-yard box, and a great serve by Freddie Thompson to really start the trouble. Lopez gets it out to the wing. De Leon moves it along. Cincota on the ball now. Lopez has it taken away from underneath him. Battle for possession. And this is gonna stay with the home side. There's a look at the first goal. Cincota on the free kick. And there's a look at the second goal. You can see the save, but not enough, trying to get back and make the play. Was Tevin Slater, the big number 12, the forward, who was back defending because of the corner kick. Nice play here from Guatemala. Guatemala, one of those sides that has a number of nicknames. Of course, you've already heard Los Chapines, La Bicolor, La Furia Azul, the Blue Fury, La Azul y Blanco, which is just blue and white. As you get a look there at Mr. Cornelius Huggins, known as the Outlaw by the fans. Played center back from 1995 through 2008. 96 caps for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a player. Did play for the side back at the 1996 Gold Cup as one of the starting center backs. Are now trying to guide his side, and he's got them here to the fourth round. A shot here on the turnaround from Ruiz. It's slowly becoming apparent that St. Vincent and the Grenadines may be overmatched at this point in qualification. And really, it's the defending that's the main issue. Not exactly world beaters on offense either. There is some obvious athleticism going forward. Among them, that man right there, Alex Anderson. And remember, still just a kid. A number of these players still very, very young, but there is a few spots where there is some promise here. McDowell inbounds. Ruiz gets a touch on it for Guatemala. So out of play again. It'll stay with La Bicolor. Ruiz gets a touch on the ball. He'll try to get back to it now. Ruiz, quite the decorated career in MLS. Obviously, his best days are now behind him. Now well into his 30s, but back in 2002, Carlos Pescadito Ruiz was the MVP of the MLS. And over the course of his career, he tries to get back to the ball now. Contreras with a header to it. Miner Lopez has a chance. But on the half volley, scoops it up and over the net. Had a chance for a brace there, but couldn't get it on target. Getting back to Carlos Ruiz. Spent some time with the LA Galaxy, FC Dallas, Toronto, Philadelphia Union, and DC United. Scored 87 goals in total, over 168 MLS regular season matches. Did score 16 goals in his postseason career. Began playing with the national side back in 1998. This, by the way, his 4th World Cup qualification process for Guatemala, and still their main striker going forward. As right now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines just trying to get a goal before the halftime break. Finding life pretty difficult here, though. Guatemala seems to be rather well positioned to snuff them out, at least going forward. The forwards very much starved for service here in the first 40 minutes for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Or I should say Carlos Mejia drops it back. Now worked along the back line, Hamilton Lopez. Brandon De Leon tried to get it wide. Back on the ball now, De Leon looking for a target inside the box, instead chooses to drop it back for Singota. Singota quiet since he scored on that free kick. He's brought down by the defender, and that's going to set up yet another free kick, and right about the same spot where Singota scored his free kick from before. Not deja vu, it's the same spot. McDowell giving directions to the wall. Only 3 men this time. This time low to the ground and put out by a defender. Nice little change-up in strategy, though, as George Emerald forced to put it out of play. Shot from distance, well off. Emerald George, I should say. As Carlos Mejia backs up into his defensive position. Mejia, by the way, 24 years of age, making his 16th cap for the national side. Plays locally in Guatemala for Comunicaciones. Coming forward, Anderson trying to get into the 18-yard box. Gives the defender a spin, Dennis Lopez, but already too late at that point. Into the middle for Freddie Thompson. Freddie Thompson's going to go ahead and send it to the other side of the pitch where Mejia will drop it back. Trying to switch fields, looking for Pescadito Ruiz. Can't quite get it there. Ruiz, by the way, (35 years of age now, making his 126th cap for the national side. His next goal will be his 60th. He's playing for Municipal in Guatemala these days. Chipped forward, headed down. And it looks like there will be a foul called here. The ball intended for Tevin Slater. Never does get there, but it does set up a free kick in an interesting situation here. That one, you see Gavin James. This dangerous play from the defender. Foul is called. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines will have their first real threatening free kick situation here for them to take advantage of. We'll see what happens here As here, Mick Burnett looks to be the one lining up to take this one. 22-year-old plays in Antigua and Barbuda. That one smashes off the wall, though. Trying to keep possession for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but the foul is called on Roy Richards, and this will be a free kick for Guatemala. Minute left to go here in the first half. St. Vincent trailing 2-0. Goals by Stefano Cincota, the right winger for Guatemala, and by Minor Lopez, who is playing in a supporting role to Carlos Ruiz up top in the Guatemalan formation today for Ivan Franco Sopeño. Chance to burst forward now for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, trying to use their speed out on the wing. As Alex Anderson had to put that one behind the back of Moise Hernandez, but wasn't able to get back to it. And that should bring the first half to a close here in Kingstown. I would imagine as soon as Paulo Mota puts this one into play, nope, we will play an extra minute here. We have seen a couple of goals, so that probably has something to do with it. Hard foul just outside the 6-yard box. Player down for Guatemala. And it's Minor Lopez. It's a knock to the back of the head. Looks like he's going to be fine, though. Elbow. Free kick. A switch of fields, and that will do it for the first 45 minutes of play here. But the scoring underway already. 2 goals by Guatemala in the first 45 minutes. Stefano Cincota with the free kick goal, a beautiful one at that, off the hands of Winslow McDowell and in to start the scoring. And a 35th goal from Minor Lopez to make it 2-0 for the away side. We'll go to halftime. You're watching CONCACAF World Cup qualifying for Russia 2018 on beIN Sports.
Okay, we're here. There's Dad, Mom, the twins, Aunt Alice.
You didn't tell me Aunt Alice was coming.
Of course.
Don't forget Grandpa. Can the test drive be over now? Maybe just head back to the dealership.
Don't you want to meet my family?
Yep, totally.
It's practically yours, but we still need your signature. The Sign Then Drive event. 0 do-it signing, 0 down, 0 deposit, and 0 first month's payment on a new Jetta and other select Volkswagen models.
Give the gift of more. Switch to Cricket Wireless and choose from 4 smartphones, now free after mail-in rebate Cricket Visa promotion card. From the Merrier carrier, Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about.
Starting on Wednesday, beIN Sports brings you the most comprehensive coverage of the biggest sports rivalry in the world. El Clásico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Live from Spain, from the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. Join our team of experts, headed by Ray Hudson, Phil Sheen, and special guest, Barcelona former Patrick Kluivert. With all the updated information about coaches, players, referees, and more, direct from the field. The most comprehensive coverage before, during, and after the game is here on beIN Sports.
This holiday season, give him 1 more millimeter of control. Give her a 2-second faster breakaway. And give him 100% more swagger.
You're watching beIN Sports, the international sports network.
Why do we root for our teams? From Barcelona to La Roma, from the United States to Colombia, we find ourselves deeply invested in the outcome of our teams. It's this regional obsession with a collective mood depending on our team's success and its failures. If they're doing well, it reflects on us in terms of bragging rights, status, prestige, and identity. If they're doing bad, it hurts the heart like nothing else. We identify with our teams in ways that players do not. Athletes can be mercenaries, but the fan can be permanent. This is why we root for our teams. That's why we're fans.
This halftime is brought to you by Volkswagen. Isn't it time for German engineering?
Halftime here at the Arnos Ground in Kingstown, St. Vincent. 2-0 the score here. The away side, Guatemala, getting on the board with the help of a free kick from Stefano Cincota and a goal from Minor Lopez later on in the first half. 2-0 here. The home side trying to get back into the contest with both these sides looking for their first points here in round 4. We'll be right back. You're watching St. Vincent and the Grenadines against Guatemala. CONCACAF World Cup qualifying is on beIN Sports.
Alucinante. By design. Seduciendo. By design.
Es la hora de mi telenovela favorita. Es el último capítulo.
No, suegra, es la final. Y resulta. ¿Ya le habló a su hermana?
Sí. Oye, ¿y tu yerno? Oh, es un bueno para nada.
Teletransporta a tu suegra sin PIN ni cargos escondidos. Ve a tu tienda favorita y obtén $1 gratis en llamadas. Buzz Revolution, une tus mundos.
People tell me stories without saying one word. So I listen. Then I give it back. What are you chasing? Hennessy. Never stop, never settle.
Come on down and catch El Clasico on a giant screen at Margaret Pace Park, Biscayne Bay, Miami. Don't miss the chance of meeting soccer legends David Villa and Gaisca Mendieta, as well as your favorite beIN Sports faces. Free admission, activities for all ages, as well as a chance to win a trip to Spain to catch a thrilling game in La Liga. Saturday, November 21st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. with beIN Sports. Did you miss a game? No problem. Monday Night Soccer is back. With the highlights of the most important games of the week. Every Monday on beIN Sports. It is the competition that paralyzes the entire country from north to south. A mix of disappointment and hope emerging in every play. Where everything will be decided on the field. The Copa do Brasil final is here. Santos versus Palmeiras. First leg, next Wednesday on beIN Sports.
Welcome back. Halftime here at the Arnos Vale Ground in Kingston. We are here at St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 2-0 your halftime score after 45 minutes of play. And it just took 23 minutes of action before Guatemala was able to get on the board in this one. Stefano Sincota with a beautiful free kick off the hands of Winslow McDowell and in for the first goal of the contest by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines defense. Setting up the free kick, a left-footed strike here by the right winger for Guatemala. And then a corner kick